The Spartans said they were tougher. The Spartans said they would flinch. And they did.
And welcome to another episode of the SD4L show. I'm Justin Thind. I'm here with my co-host Matt Sheehan. Seems to be very excited today.
Yeah, why not?
It's very positive and good news-filled day.
Always a sunny day in East Lansing, Dan.
Yeah.
You know what it is. That's right.
So, how you doing today, Matt?
Just sensational. Peachy, if you will.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Justin, how are you doing?
Doing well?
People forget to ask how
Yep.
Justin's ever doing. You go through your days Wednesday to Wednesday.
Wednesday to
No one
Wednesday.
asks you. No one caring how
Yep.
you're doing.
No, never. You never ask. Nobody asks.
How are you doing?
Doing well. Some solid fish and chips were consumed before the show.
Smashed.
Yeah.
If you will.
I will, yes. Great value. Always a good proponent of fish and chips.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. As Matt and I were discussing before the show, seems like fish and chips always come in the best quantities. You get served the entire Atlantic Ocean, it seems,
At
whereas...
most places.
Yeah. Fortunately, Owen here decided at a seafood restaurant he was going to get chicken.
Sure, dude, I was craving chicken. So
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm a huge chicken connoisseur, but
Yeah.
fish and chips, that's what the quantity is.
it's true. I should have gotten it. I should have listened to you guys.
But-
That's on me.
I guess Owen's mistake aside, back to a reference about peaches. Joining us today from the Peach State, Georgia, we have redshirt freshman, Michigan State interior offensive lineman Chris Phillips. Chris was at Michigan State for his first year this past year, and he's going into his second year. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Excited to have you. Yeah. So I guess first off, Chris, you've been at Michigan State now for about a year. You've gotten to go through a full offseason of camp, practice, offseason conditioning, all of that. How would you summarize your first season at Michigan State?
My first season was definitely a learning experience. Just being just going there from high school is definitely tough. I didn't come in the spring, so that kind of, pushed me back a little bit. But overall, it was definitely an experience, and I learned from it. And now I know what to expect going forward with this season next coming up.
And not just you, but the whole offensive line room came off a pretty big spring. I believe it was your coach, Coach Cap, that said that is light years ahead of where you guys were last year. As far as just injuries and who was even available, what was the spring like, though, for you as you left that weeks of spring session?
I think I had a pretty going in. Some really didn't know anything because, like I said, the transition from high school to college. But I feel like since I got everything down, everything moves a little bit slower, because I got everything down. So I think I had a pretty good spring overall, better, comparing it to summer.
Right on.
So, Chris, you mentioned Coach Cap there. What is it like to work with him, learn from him? What is, I guess, for the people that don't get to spend time around him, how would you describe him to people?
I would describe him as, that's a good question. Passionate. I would describe him as very passionate. He's a very passionate coach. He loves to do what he do. He wakes up. He loves it. He bleeds for it. That's what he do. So I think that's what I describe him as, passionate.
So you have an opening on the interior line with the absence that's opened. What's that battle been like? Because obviously, you guys are teammates, you guys are brothers, but you guys are competing for that starting role. What has that just been like amongst the small group that you guys have in the interior line room?
It's been. I can't really say anything because I don't really focus on battling for a position. I just go out there, just try to learn from the older guys. The older guys is the ones who helped me out when I came in the summer. So I really don't really try to worry about that. I just try to worry about learning from them as much as I can. So when my time comes, I'll be ready to go.
Yeah, so kind of like Matt referenced there with the opening this year at right guard, and then obviously after J.D. Duplain leaves after this year. Either way, whether you win the job this year or next year, opportunity is in front of you. Does knowing that kind of motivate you a little extra? Does that kind of make it where as your work is being validated for an end goal that you have? What is that like?
Oh, yeah, that definitely motivates me. Knowing I have an opportunity at one of the highest levels right now, I feel like that definitely motivates me to put something in my head. So I have to work. Like, this is what I've been working for all my life. So now I have to take that and I have to put it in, and I got to grind. I got to go. It's go time now.
And strong coaching, obviously, but you just referenced some of the older players that you guys are learning from. What player have you learned from the most so far at your time at Michigan State?
I learned from. I mean, it's a few. I probably can name about five.
Gotcha.
Matt Carey, Dino Vandermark. I learned from him. JD, Nick, Spencer Brown too. All of them really helped me. You know what I'm saying? Understand and try to get me on the right track with football. So those five right there.
So, Chris, when you chose Michigan State, I believe you had 3 other offers. A lot of kids, they typically just try to collect offers, prolong their recruitment, worry about their stars, worry about if they can get up to 10, 15 offers, whatever. You were, I believe, the first commit of Michigan State's 2022 class, one of the first couple at least. What was it that led you to immediately shut down your recruitment and just choose Michigan State instead of dragging it out like some other people do across the country?
Just the way the coaching staff and everyone was trying to, bring me in and make me feel like family. And also, I'm from Detroit, so like I wanted to be back home and I wanted to put on the show for my family back home. So I wanted to just come home, put on the show, and really Coach Cap and Coach Gerard and past coaches, Coach Harris, they brought me in and they showed me real love. So that's why I committed early.
And what was the most memorable part from your visits up to East Lansing?
Just kicking it with Coach Cap and talking to some of the other players that was committed at the time or was working on being committed. Just kicking it with them guys and learning from them and learning each other. We meet a lot of people around the world, so
yeah,
just meeting them, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So, I guess, Chris, for the fans that don't really, know what they're watching when they're looking at offensive line play, what's one thing that you wish the fans knew? Or, what would you say is the hardest part about playing offensive line in general?
I say the hardest thing really about offensive line is just picking up on, blitzes. I say that for me. Just picking up on blitzes and learning, the defense, the defensive line, games and stuff, they twist and stuff like that. That's really, I think that's really hard because there's a lot of stuff that go into that.
Right.
And
there's a lot of.
I'm sorry. And getting out of spring practice, who has surprised you the most amongst just the rest of the offensive players? Like when any running back is getting the ball or any receiver really catching your eye so far? Two receivers. I say. Well, no, not 2, 3. Tyrell, Ron Glover, and Antonio Gates. Those 3 receivers, I feel like, impressed me in the spring, especially Ron. I feel like Ron definitely impressed me. Running backs, I think Nate Carter, Jeremy. We really have a good team. Like, everyone really impressed me. Like, I can't really say.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Chris, what part of the team do you think is going to make the biggest jump from last year to this upcoming year, if you had to guess, just being around the guys and being at the practice? Oh, and do we still have Chris?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, I'm right.
His connections.
Yeah, so I don't know. Can you say that again, Chris? My bad. I don't know if that came through.
I said, I think we have secondary.
And how about the defensive side of the ball? Because obviously the defensive line pretty stacked this year. A lot of talent on there. Who's giving you the most trouble in practice if you want to throw someone a bone on that side of the ball?
I don't want to hype his head up too much, but Simeon Barrow,
yeah.
he gives trouble. He already knows. And Derek Harmon.
Okay.
Right on. Gotcha. Now, Big Dooley, we have the hot seat coming up for you right now. This is a segment called Big Dooley's Big Picks. And crazy enough, you're the first person to do this segment. So we're going to ask you 5 quick hit questions on your teammates. Are you ready to play Big Dooley's Big Picks?
Yes.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Biggest comedian on the team.
Antonio Gates.
Okay. God, that's 2 weeks in a row for him.
Tyrell said the same thing.
Tyrell said the same thing about him, too. Now, Tyrell said that Antonio Gates has a good Mel Tucker impression. Can you attest to that? Is that correct?
I never really saw him do it, but I feel
Okay.
like he does. I feel like he do.
We got to get him on the show one of these times and squeeze that out of him immediately.
Yeah.
First question right off the bat. Biggest hitter amongst the offensive linemen. Biggest hitter.
Biggest hitter?
Is it just Big Dooley?
I say Nick.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Biggest weightlifter. Who's impressing in the gym when you guys are on the squat rack or the bench press or anything like that?
JD.
All right. Biggest competitor on the team. That's a tough one.
Ooh, on the offense and defense.
Yeah, the whole team.
Offensive defense. Yeah, sure.
On offense, I think the biggest. I feel like
It's a
the
hot,
biggest.
it's a hot seat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard question. I'm gonna skip offense. I'm gonna go to defense. I think the biggest competitor on defense, I say probably defense.
Okay, gotcha. There we go. Friend of the program.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Last one. Biggest leader in the offensive line room. Fair enough. Sounds about right. There we go.
Yeah.
And that's Big Dooley's Big Picks. How was it? Was that fine? Was that easy? Do you feel like you were under pressure that whole time? Because that's our goal. Our goal is to make you sweat over there down in Georgia. So did we do our job?
I mean, one. But other than that,
Well,
take
Chris,
it. We'll take it.
we appreciate your time, man. Thanks for making time. I know you're enjoying the little amount of downtime that you have down there. So we appreciate you joining us and wishing you the best luck in fall camp and hoping you have a successful and healthy season this year.
appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Go White, my man. There we go. Big Dooley. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We need that guy road grading other Big Ten opponents this season.
I think 6'5", 330 when he committed.
That plays.
It's I've seen him in person at the spring game and stuff.
That's
too.
a lot of Dooley.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Dooley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big Dooley is a justified nickname for him.
Speaking of big news today in the transfer portal, Justin, figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
I mean, this is as exciting as like a spring transfer portal pickup can probably get here. We're going down to the land of Boulder, Colorado, by way of American Samoa. That's right. Jalen Sami.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle, a guy who's been in college for, since 2008, it seems like. But no, he's been in college for quite some time.
Yeah.
Still 2 years left of eligibility?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. You want to take it away here?
Yeah, so Jalen Sami went to Colorado for his first 5 years?
I think it was 5.
5 years, yeah.
Yep.
So he was one of the key players for the Buffs in the past few years.
Yep.
And Mel Tucker and the staff got to see him up close when they were down over there in Colorado. And then allegedly we were told, everybody was told that Louis Vuitton was pulling up in Boulder this past offseason.
Yes.
I guess they got a little Toomey, maybe some Samsonite. Don't know if they necessarily got Louis.
Louis Vuitton. Yeah.
They got a couple nice pickups, but I would argue that it's not enough to have guys like Jalen here leave and some of the other guys they've left leave. Yeah. If you're starting 12 games for Colorado, you probably should be in the 2 deep the next year.
You would hope.
At the very least.
Yeah. Unless you've lost a limb in the offseason.
Yeah.
Which, as far as I know, Sami did not.
Yeah. So the thing of it is, Colorado fans look at it as, everyone that leaves, it's a chance for an upgrade. You have 71 people leaving. You're not going to be getting 71 upgrades. And it's possible for bad teams to have good players on them. So anyway, that's a different discussion. But Sami here just plays a great specialized role of being a run stuffer and a block occupier. If you hope that he plays 3 downs, rushes a passer, blows up every play and every down and distance, probably not going to be the case. But 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3,
Sami time.
Yeah, 1st and 10. If a team has high run tendency, Michigan State last year I believe was 12th in the Big Ten in run defense.
Gotcha.
That means you have a need. for a run stuffer.
Yep.
And that is what has been filled here.
6'6", 330 pounds. When he steps off that bus to get into East Lansing, he's the biggest guy in the defensive tackle room. I mean, just by showing up. Derek Harmony has him by about 10 pounds, but yeah, it's a great run stopper. And just to expand on that, I'm going to echo a lot of what you're saying here. But yeah, there's been roughly 700 people that have transferred from Colorado, and I get it. Like Mel Tucker did the same thing when he came here. You had to get rid of the guys that don't make your roster competitive in Power 5 football. I just don't know if Jalen Sami was one of those kids, because we're talking about a guy that started 32 of the 36 games he played in. And sure, hey, everyone's got to start a game. There are a lot of really bad players for Colorado that started last year. Okay, not all of them got back-to-back Pac-12 honorable mentions. Like, he's a solid player that's a little confusing as to what happened down there. But hey, come on up to East Lansing and enjoy at least 1, if not 2 years of football in Spartan Stadium. So yes, Jalen Sami, big pickup, quite literally a big pickup.
Yeah. And at the time that he left Colorado for Michigan State, I'm actually trying to pull up the tweet right now.
Gotcha.
But I believe Brian Howell, who is the 24/7 Sports Colorado Buffaloes reporter, he said that this is not a loss that you want to see if you're Colorado. And he said that he has NFL potential, Sami. And stats, as we know, for nose tackle type of defensive tackles, they're not going to have the stats. Kind of like Jordan Davis at Georgia a few years ago. Their job is different. Their job is to occupy as many blocks so the defensive tackles next to them or the edge rushers around them can go ahead and get the production. So the people that watched them play, like Brian Howell, they're saying that this is a departure that really hurts Colorado. So I haven't watched full game tape on them, and the stats, like I said, you can't really get much from. But from everything we're hearing, this is a pickup that you want on your team.
Yeah, and even if he's not a starter, okay, well, he's just a high-rotation guy. You know, guys that could give Simeon Barrow a breather every once in a while. Derek Harmon a breather, pair him with Maverick Hansen or Tunmise Adelaide if you want to bump him on the inside. Like, yeah, I mean, you strengthened a strength because MSU's front on defense, I think is going to be the strength of the team. I don't think that's a hot take at all.
Yeah.
All you do is just bolster that, and sometimes it's just what you got to do in life is just strengthen your strengths, and that's what Michigan State did there. So, nice little portal pickup here today.
Yeah. Good news for sure.
Here we go. Should we keep the good news rolling? Should we keep the vibes high?
Yeah, let's do that.
This is a segment. It's just called Tell Me Something Good. Now, there's a song. It's famous. Tell me something good. I'm not going to play the song because I don't want to get stricken down with copyright infringements. Hope you guys are enjoying the show over there. So we're just going to do it. I'm just going to say, tell me something good. We're just going to bark out something random. And then we're just going to talk about the good things going on in Michigan State's offseason because there's a lot of chatter about the downsides. But hey, it ain't always cloudy in East Lansing, baby. There's some sun rays. So Justin, tell me something good about the receivers.
Yeah, Matt. So
I'm going to sing the entire time, by the way. So get ready for that.
No.
Yeah.
That's not something good.
Yeah.
Take that back.
It's not, but it's what you got.
I'll be leaving if that's the case.
Yeah.
So, Matt, with the receivers, the biggest thing there is the opportunity. It's going to be young guys. It's going to be, as Big Dooley told us, all the young guys that are coming in. Jaron Glover from 2022, Gates, Tyrell. So one of those three guys, I'm going to say probably Tyrell. They're going to have a big opportunity this year as a starter. Then you have Trey Mosley, obviously. And then we'll see if they can land one of the portal receivers they're still going after. And then you have Christian Fitzpatrick still there, Montori Foster still there. So right now it's a lot of young, exciting guys that other than Trey Mosley, if any of these guys perform well, they're going to be here another year. They're going to be here. There's going to be continuity. The three guys they signed in 2023, the two guys they signed in 2023, I think highly of their potential. So I don't think we'll play much this year, but the room in terms of a long view, I think I like the way that looks. And as I'll touch on later on, the biggest thing is the ability to capitalize on Jaden Reed. And I think with official visits, the receiver room is going to be stockpiled after this signing day as well.
There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. One down. We got many to go. But is that a Peach in the gallery out there?
Oh, there he is.
Peach, two-part question. Have you watched football before? And number two, receiver that you like on this team coming into next year. Let's go. Take us to church.
Well, first of all, great to be back.
Let's go.
Good to be on.
Welcome
Excited
back.
to be joining such an upbeat session with you guys.
Amen.
Yeah.
Here.
First part, I have watched football.
Let's go. We're back.
I've watched some good football.
Cooking.
I've watched some bad football.
Sure.
I've watched everything in between. I think MSU is the cupboard is not as bare as a lot of people think for this year. I know it feels like right now the sky's kind of falling. I think there's some pieces there for us. Receiver group, boy, tough to say. Trey Mosley, obviously, is that kind of number one pick, right? Because that's the guy that's been there and kind of proven it.
Mr. Reliable.
Over the last couple of years. Shout out to Trey. Love that guy. I think over the next couple of weeks, right, like if this is rock bottom for MSU, right, this is a great place to build a foundation, right? So I think from here, only way to go is up.
A lot of young guys in the room.
Yeah.
Like everyone that you said, everyone that Big Dooley said, Gates, Jerron, Tyrell Henry, high in those guys. So number 2 of Tell Me Something Good. JT, why is the defense going to be better this year? Because the defense has been...
Well, for one, Matt,
it's been that.
Regression to the mean with injuries, I would hope, one would think. I would hope that that's the case.
If there's more injuries, it cannot be. It cannot be much worse. If it is somewhat worse, we are moving Spartan Stadium because it is proven that it's just buried or built on top of a burial ground.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is when you have that front seven, that has to carry your defense to a certain extent. I think it will. Like I said, barring injuries. The defensive back room, it's all going to be young guys that deserve patience. I know nobody's going to want to be patient as you think of last year's Washington game. You think about even a Minnesota game.
Sure.
Eventually, people want to see good defensive back play, period. But for the first time out of these last few years, I think this is a year where there should be patience. Jaden Mangum, Dylan Tatum, Malcolm Jones, Caleb Coley. These are guys that Malik Spencer, these are guys that probably are going to occupy at least 3 of the starting spots, if not more. So I think those guys just need to show promise. They need to be playable. They need to be good. And beyond that, it all just comes down to the defensive line carrying. And I think the defensive line can do that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Peach, thoughts?
I mean, I agree with it, right?
Let's go.
This is the let's go.
Let's go. We're on the board.
Again, like to look at this as an opportunity for the young guys to really prove themselves. Regression to the mean with the injuries. One guy I think that's really going to stand out for this year, Darius Snow. Right? I think that's the guy that's really going to prove himself. Like coming off that injury, like, hey, this is the level that I can be at for the remainder of my time here at MSU. I think that's the guy I'm personally most excited about. So shout out to him. Shout out to the graphics god.
He's also
One time for him. One time.
Absolutely.
He's a little sore.
Yeah, and then also along Peach's theme of somebody that's returning this that we didn't see last year, Marquis Lowry. I think he's a guy that is going to be a welcome re-addition to the cornerback room. Last year he was banged up, and personally, I think when he was healthy in 2021, he was Michigan State's best corner. He was at least their most physical and their best impressed man. So those are 2 guys that didn't play last year that it would be nice to have them back.
Does it feel like Jacoby Windman is kind of flying under the radar?
It doesn't sit right with me, but yes.
Isn't it just kind of the vibe where he's just kind of sitting there waiting, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is the season where, like, sustainability-wise, you saw those first couple of games where he just blew up out of nowhere, right? Started to get double teamed, some of that stuff.
Went to linebacker,
right? I think now we're going to see, like, that kind of full, complete season out of one of the best players in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cal Halliday, take it for granted, perhaps. Like 120 tackles last year. I mean, and you pair him up with the run stoppers that you already do have and the one you just added today.
Yeah.
That's a strength, stopping the run.
Being able to use Aaron Brule specifically as a pass rusher instead of being forced into being able to needing to drop back just because Snow was out. Just optionality, versatility, guys play more in their natural roles. These are all products of being healthier this year.
There we go. Let's flip it back to the offensive side of the ball. And Justin, tell me something good. Tell me something good about the quarterback battle. We lost our starting quarterback. Oh, God.
Fresh blood, man.
Oh, no.
Fresh blood.
This can't go right, can it, Justin?
The ability to have continuity now for the next few years, a year earlier. This was going to be Peyton Thorne's last year here from everything I had heard. I think he might have been able to get a COVID waiver to be back for another one, but
we'll never know.
I was told that this was going to be his last year regardless back in the winter. So this year, I know this is kind of a cop-out and you can say this for everything, but in terms of you not being a national title contender or a Rose Bowl contender, probably not a Big Ten title contender, everything at that point, if you're not at that threshold or above, it's a little bit of a wandering eye towards next year's team. Peyton Thorne being here for another year, maybe if they win one more game, that's probably the best case scenario for this year. But you're going to be even more behind for 2024 when it's deeper into the rebuild, when people have less patience, when recruits are expecting more. So I think this helps 2024. And I don't know how much it hurts in 2023. So that's kind of the way I look at it, is it's better for the long-term view of the program.
And I just like, too, that it was a battle in the spring as well. And this could all mean nothing. This could just be, just idiot at the corner of the sports bar talking right now. But this was a battle all spring. Like, these guys were, all three of them, competing as if they were all the starters. And instead of flipping the switch in a surprise like, oh, my God, our starter left. I'm in the offseason right now, and now I'm going to go into this fall camp all of a sudden as a starter. Like, that switch has already been flipped mentally for them. Maybe it doesn't mean a lot, but I think it just means a little bit. And both guys are going to hit the ground running in the fall, both understanding that, you guys are that much closer to the quarterback one battle that you were taking the whole spring competing for. So there you go. Peach, are you going to compete for the quarterback battle or no?
I hope so.
Okay, I believe in you.
4 years still.
4. Let's go. That's
4 years still remaining.
We need a kicker, though. We need a kicker.
Can you kick too?
I can try and kick.
Do both? Okay.
Tell you what, if it's within 10 yards,
okay,
money
I can
time.
probably put it between the uprights.
We need that.
Put me on the right hash, though.
Okay. That can be arranged on extra points.
I've seen some kicks from the left hash last year, and that didn't. Yeah, so we'll try the right hash this year. I like
Absolutely.
That. Okay.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah. We're going to hold you to that. If the first missed field goal that Michigan State has this season, we're going to go down to the local high school. We're going to have Peach kick from 10 yards on the right hash.
Take a video.
We're going to post it, and we're going to make them sign them.
Say less.
Pick them up.
I would love that, actually.
Yeah.
That sounds sensational.
Yeah.
Do you think you could win a Buick between the third and fourth quarter? It's a 30-yard field goal. Do you think you can?
Some of those kicks that we've seen have been very poor, right? Some of them went a little viral.
Oh, sure.
Some guys maybe weren't ready for the spotlight.
Wrong footwear,
Are those
if you will.
people practicing though?
Wrong footwear.
They should be, right?
I think it depends. Some people know ahead of time. I think most know ahead of time.
I think they all do. Do they not? Because they have to. There's no way they're just pulling somebody, are they?
So the reason I think they don't tell them beforehand is they're never wearing the right kind of shoes.
Never.
So I feel like you'd at least come in the right kind of shoes if you were being told before.
I saw one guy with cleats back in like 2014, I think. They must have shortened the window.
No.
From
what probably happened is you wore cleats to every single one until they got to kick.
Could you imagine
But how does that work then? What do they do?
Full uniform. Full uniform.
Yeah.
You got the helmet on and everything.
Yeah.
Ready to walk on the field.
No one won for like 8 years after that. They made sure that they were picking the schlubbiest looking people in Spartan Stadium to kick that 30-yard field goal. No,
That's
so like
true.
whenever me and my brother would sit by each other during games, we would bet if the ball would even roll to the end zone.
Yeah.
And that's a good bet. Will it even touch paint of the end zone?
No,
the
yeah.
end zone. That's nice. The end
Everything
zone.
looks like a grounder that Derek Jeter would throw over to first.
Easy 6-3 play.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like one of those competition things? Like, I don't know if you remember, I think it was last year, the Oakland A's just have like at Comerica Park where you could throw a baseball and get your mile per hour on the radar gun. They ended up signing the dude because they were so impressed by him. Well, what if somebody makes a kick doing that challenge and then they get brought in by Michigan State and they're students?
That should be how they
do it.
Somebody did that down south. I don't know if it was Florida. I don't think it was Florida.
It wasn't Florida State, right?
Maybe it was Florida State. It was somebody down south that's like a perennial program. They were on to their third kicker by week 7 because of injuries.
Right.
And they went and they found somebody that won a kicking competition the previous year.
Okay.
He was still enrolled there, and they brought him to the team for week 8.
Dude, that's so hype. That would be so cool. Like, can you imagine?
But it was like a real competition, not like for a Buick
Yeah.
car. Like they hosted a competition for kicking.
Yeah.
And but yeah.
But still, dude, you get to
Yeah.
be on the team. You get to strap up, be on the sideline,
Yeah.
everything, dude. That's really cool.
My wheels are spinning. Like, this shouldn't be grown adults like kicking these things. Like, no, they should be undergrads kicking these kicks.
Yeah, if
and,
you
like,
really want to go into the crowd, like
Mel Tucker's watching these kicks,
year,
Ross Ells,
Yeah, the goal should be to find the best like person that could actually like do it. You know.
Because you know what? Now that I've really thought about it, you don't win a Buick. It's just sponsored by Buick, but you win a trip to the bowl game. You win the trip by the bowl game by being on the team and making the field goals necessary to go to said bowl game.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah. You still have to pay tuition because you'll just be a walk-on at that point. But, like, it is what it is. You get the glory.
Yeah.
Dude, we're coming up with stuff. Can we relay this to
Just cut it
someone?
up.
Oh, Mel's listening. Mel
No,
always
not
tunes
even
in.
Mel. We just need the marketing team to hear this.
That's true.
I want Mel.
Okay, well, you could.
Alan
I
Haller's
think
definitely
Mel will
listening.
notice.
Definitely watching.
Yeah.
How many people are driving Buicks?
At least 5.
5.
At least, minimum.
So we need that target audience to tune in.
I saw one on the way here. The guy looked about 40, but
oh no,
maybe he's got eligibility left.
As a current employee of General Motors, I must refrain from commenting on the amount of sales supply that Buick is.
Buicks have great cars. Sponsor the show,
Cosign.
You guys won't sponsor the show. Tell me something good. Let's switch it to Justin's forte over here. Recruiting.
French fries? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Second forte then, recruiting. June official visits, because right now, Justin, our recruiting class isn't even enough to make a game of euchre. Right now, there's 3 kids in the class.
Yeah.
Please tell me we're not done recruiting.
Yeah, we have the most important part of the recruiting calendar coming up, and that is the June official visits. In those June official visits, I should pull it up. I believe we have 20-something kids locked in and confirmed so far, with over 2 weeks to go before they actually begin. Some good-looking prospects there. Just before we started the show, I was able to confirm Decker DeGraff, a tight end from California, who's an 88 rated 3-star. He has offers from Miami, Washington, UCLA, I believe. Great looking tight end. Eric Carner's another tight end that we have.
Sure.
I know when Michigan State did not choose to heavily pursue Dylan Messman, the in-state 4-star, a lot of people were puzzled. I even was a little unsure of the direction after that, but seems like a lot of the tight ends that they have officially visiting are one of the strong points of this cycle. The other 2, basically the 2 positions I expect to carry the class this year. As last year, we kind of saw that the class was carried by the O-line and D-line. Rammel, Blackstock, Dellinger, all 4-stars, and then obviously Job, Andrew DePape, Jalen Thompson. This year, I don't know if there's going to be 6 4-stars, but I think receiver and corner, they're going to be the ones that are carrying the class this year. You're looking at Jordan Ross, Nick Marsh, Bronte Johnson, 3 4-star receivers that are locked in for official visits. Tremar Harris from Cincinnati, also locked in. He's an 87 rated 3-star. 4 receivers right there that Michigan State is, I think, in the top 2 for all of them. There's another receiver out in California whose name is escaping me. So there's 5 receivers, 4 of them that are 4-stars coming in. So Coach Hawkins is putting in the work to capitalize on Jaden Reed going round 2. And then corner, you have Jalen Thompson committed. I know Jamari Howard decommitted. He's still scheduled to take his official visit. He confirmed to Stephen Brooks, my colleague at 24/7. There's Sire Torrance, who I think you have to go watch his tape. You have to go watch his tape. He was committed to Syracuse early on. He was from upstate New York, so everyone thought no reason to pursue him. So the offer sheet is lacking, but he's picked up Pitt and a lot of the East Coast schools recently. He's going to keep blowing up. The new hire, Jim Salgado at corners coach, he's done a great job finding him, getting on him early. And then there's lots of cornerback guys that I don't need to go through all the names. You can see them on our site, but there's just defensive back and receiver. I'm excited to see what June holds there.
What's the one player that I should get my hopes up on the most? Like the guy that's like pretty highly rated, the guy that's like right there. Is it just as easy as Nick Marsh?
I would say Nick Marsh is a good candidate for
I'm
that.
sorry to get hurt again. Let's go. Yes, let's go.
Even Bronte Johnson, they're rated very similarly.
Gotcha.
I think he's 149, something like that. So they're in the same tier. He has a crystal ball to Notre Dame. I don't know how much they're necessarily pushing. I heard, obviously, since it's not from the kid directly, you don't know how true it is, but I heard that Coach Hawkins is his favorite receivers coach that is recruiting him right now. So it's both of those guys. They're up there as really realistic candidates to commit.
Well, I like hearing that our receivers coach is his favorite one. You know who my favorite receiver coach is? Same.
No, it's good to hear.
It's Hawkins. Yeah. So
very good.
Hope
candidate
it all works out for Michigan State here. JT. You know what's next on this list?
We got to have Peach in this too, so that
no problem whatsoever.
Okay,
no
yeah,
problem
let's all
whatsoever.
do it.
Get him in here.
Can this be a team effort for
This could
Justin?
absolutely-
Yeah. We'll agree on a consensus with discussion and then present that to Matt.
Okay, gotcha.
This is 2 are facts. 1 is whack. Peach, Owen. I know you guys have never, ever seen this game in your lives before. This is a very complex game, so listen closely to the rules.
I watch it every week.
You're the one listener? Oh, my God. That's incredible.
Shout out to him, man.
Wow, he's right here in the
keeping
studio.
us afloat.
Well, then who's outside the studio watching right now? No one? All right. Well, we can take the top off of this then. All right. 2 are facts, 1 is whack. I got 3 statements here. This is going to shock you all. 2 are facts, One is whack.
My record is 4-11, I believe.
Remember
good.
last week, though,
nope.
we were talking
I wasn't gonna
about
say it.
it's never the first one.
Yeah, that's true. So this time it's gonna be the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see you gotta read his facial expressions too.
Oh boy.
Okay, here we go anyway. Are you gentlemen ready to play Tour Facts? One is whack.
Yes.
I am.
The theme of this week is just this week in news. I don't know. It's May 17th. We're a little dry on the themes here. This week in news. Hey, Michigan State. They're going to play on NBC against Ohio State coming up. How fun's that? MSU more recently played on ESPN News than they have played on NBC. That's statement number one. MSU football more recently played on ESPN News than they have played on NBC. Statement number two, gentlemen. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, great. MSU has the second most lottery picks amongst Big Ten programs since 2014. As you know, the ping pong balls, they fell, and they fell hard on the you-know-whats of Michigan, or the Michigan State fans. How about Detroit Pistons fans? So that's the theme for the second one. MSU has the second most lottery picks amongst Big Ten programs since 2014. Statement number three. EA Sports announced that, hey, you know what? NCAA football is coming back pretty soon. Since the last NCAA football game by EA Sports was released, MSU has won a Rose Bowl, a Cotton Bowl, 2 Big Ten titles, 6 Paul Bunions. Since the last edition of NCAA football from EA Sports.
NCAA 14 was
That's
the
correct.
last
Yeah,
one.
Which
Yeah.
came out in June or July or August of 2013.
Correct.
That is astute.
See, I think
Because that always irritates me how
I
they're
think
named
the first one has to be true because, like, I can't remember the last time NBC had even a college
So
football
it
game.
would be a road game at Notre Dame Stadium.
Correct. And that was 2013 with the pass interference.
Okay. So it has, ESPN.
It has to be.
All right, does it have to be listed as a primary broadcast on ESPN News? Could it be bumped because the previous game had
No,
the
we're not primary.
Okay.
We're not doing bumps. Yeah.
ESPN News, dude.
ESPN News. Yep.
That's like Drew Stanton versus Northwestern 2006.
Yeah, because
Sure.
do you guys ever recall a live sports broadcast scheduled
true.
primarily for ESPN News?
No,
I don't think so.
I mean, no.
Yeah, I don't either.
Maybe it is the first one then.
I think it's the first one is the lie. I think the first one is the lie because I think about lottery picks
Yeah.
for MSU. Denzel,
Jaron,
Miles.
Yeah,
That's 3.
That is 3.
that is 3.
Some good Spartan math here going on.
Is this all time or is this since?
No, since 2014.
Oh, yeah,
Since
yeah, you did say
2014.
that.
Yep, since
Yeah, yeah.
2014.
I think my vote is the first one.
My vote is the first one too.
All right, let's go first one then.
Let's lock it in.
Lock it in. Final answer.
We'll go first one.
Ron.
Damn it,
Unbelievable.
And
I knew
Ron
it, dude. I
over
said it
here.
originally.
Three gentlemen in this building are wrong.
Unbelievable.
I got
The
peer
one
pressured into
that
it.
was whack is MSU has the second most lottery picks amongst Big
Is
Ten
it-
programs
I knew
since
he was gonna get that one,
2014
too.
because Justin, say it
It's
into the
always
microphone.
the second one, dude. It's always the second
got
one.
tricked
the
with
first
shit on our own
We
show.
should've known.
There what?
We should have known that this was the case because that being the first is like an upbeat, like sort of answer. Like
Good vibes, dude.
Yeah,
Tell me something good, dude.
Exactly.
Why do people tune in to SD4L? That's right, for the good vibes. You want bad vibes? That's Locked on Spartans. That's yeah, that's right. No, tune in to the good vibes here because MSU is what were they, Justin? What are they since 2014?
The most
The
lottery
most lottery
selected
picks
team.
amongst Big Ten teams since 2014. You guys nailed it with Denzel, Jaron, and Miles. MSU more recently played on ESPN News than they have played on NBC. They
What was the
played-
game?
So on NBC, they played a road game at Notre Dame.
Yep.
On NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Later
was the
that
ESPN?
year against Illinois on ESPN News. That is the
I knew
ill-fated
that, dude.
Gotham Steel Pan game. They had the commercial for that Gotham Steel Pan every single commercial break. Great times. If you forgot the 2016 games, congratulations, you've blocked that season out of your memory, and I'm very jealous of you. And, yep, sure enough, since the last NCAA football game was dropped by EA Sports, MSU has won a Rose Bowl. They won a Cotton Bowl, 2 Big Ten titles, and 6 Paul Bunions because it was July 9th, 2013 was the last time NCAA football was dropped. My dad's birthday. Shout out to my dad. There you go.
Shout out to your dad.
Happy
indeed.
birthday.
The other listener of this
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
So one time.
And then
Yeah.
my dad's the other listener, so we got all 3 of them. That's it.
All and a third of them are in the
Yeah.
studio over here. This
Yeah.
is
My parents don't love
incredible.
you.
True.
I get it.
It's tough.
It'd be like that
It's a tough
sometimes.
face to love.
That's okay.
I have a question stemming from that.
Yeah.
Stephen Brooks asked this on the timeline today.
Okay.
NCAA football, we haven't had it for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
In those 11 years, who is the one player that you guys wish that the game was out for so you could have played?
I like that.
Money Manziel. Johnny.
Okay.
It's got to be Johnny.
Yeah.
Right? Johnny
Yeah,
football.
yeah.
Like that guy. That's Mike Vick in
Yeah.
04 Madden levels good.
Right.
That's my vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
What about
way,
MSU? Let's make it MSU.
Oh, I'm gonna go way off the board here. Rocky Lombardi.
Oh!
For sure. No doubt about that. I forgot if it was like Madden 04, 06, but Chad Pennington was the backup quarterback of the Jets. But if you put him into the game, he could throw from 20-yard line to 20-yard line. The accuracy, screw it. The receivers can go run and get it. But like, you could also run with Rocky a little bit. I think it'd be fun. And just the idea that you're sitting down and you're bringing Michigan State to glory with Sunshine. Rocky, Lombardi. Yeah, that's no doubt. I'm going to have to go with that. But when I was playing defense, I'd always do the edge guy. So Kenny Wilkes. Kenny Wilkes for my edge guy.
I would say my
then.
answer would be Kenneth Walker. I mean,
that's true.
Kind of bland, but
that's true. I guess I had one in mind before Owen said just MSU. So I'll flex and I'll say the only game that I'm really good at is NCAA football.
Okay.
I can't play Call of Duty. I can't play
Madden,
like any.
then?
I can't play. Yeah, Madden I'm pretty good at. Probably my second best game. But like I suck at all the shooter games. Like my KD is like under 1 in like every single shooter game I've ever played.
Same.
But on Heisman, on NCAA 14, I'd be beating teams 72-0 with like max goals.
Let's go.
And the thing of it is now we have an opportunity here to think about some mediocre players that would kind of give me a little challenge here. So I'm going to lock in Christian Hackenberg as who I wish we had the game.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Should we just shut the show off? Should we shut it down? Are we going home now?
I could.
Are you being paid by the Hackenberg camp to say this? Like, that's unbelievable.
Hackenberg shooters out there?
Funny
I would
thing
at least
is,
give you Trace McSorley. Trace McSorley was fun.
Trace
Hackenberg.
too easy, 120-0 every game. See, the funny thing is I apologize if Hack is listening here. But
loyal listener.
He sits right here, Christian Hackenberg.
The funny thing
just
is,
in the comments.
Thank you.
The funny thing is that me and Hack are doing the exact same thing. And that's on a podcast. And
It's chopping it up. Yep.
5 years after he was
What is
like
he
a
doing now?
bona fide.
Dude, we should get him on the show.
I think he works for Rocket Mortgage.
No, he doesn't. No way. He works for Jeff.
There's a chance if you got a pulse, you probably worked for them at some point, right?
He works. He works
Non-zero
for
chance.
Jeff Goodman's company.
Rocket Mortgage.
Field of 12.
Field of 48 or whatever?
Yeah, but the football version of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gridiron of 12. I made that. I got that.
No, it is Field of 12 because like they expanded
Really?
it to college football playoff to 12, and that's when they launched it. And
Excuse me.
It's like him, and it's other
Paxton Lynch.
wasp quarterbacks.
yeah.
but-
Really?
Yeah. Jake Locker's in the
Let's
mix.
get 'em all
Yeah. The whole gang's there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
Also, Aaron Burbridge, I'd like to shout him out, too.
Mm-hmm.
He just seems like the guy you could just flip the ball up, and
Yeah.
he's going to come down with it
Yeah.
every single time. So, Burb.
yeah, but Hackenberg, K9,
Rocky Lombardi.
Rocky Lombardi.
Rocky Lombardi for sure.
Johnny football
Manziel,
for
yeah.
me.
Johnny
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of MSU,
Yeah.
Johnny football.
That's drawn. That's drawn.
Yep.
Yeah. 3 guys with great NFL careers right here on our side, and then K9. Yeah.
Sure. There's still time in Rocky's time.
This is true.
All right.
This is true.
Thank you.
We see Matt Coughlin was signed, I think, by somebody's practice squad team after an exquisite showing in the XFL.
Let's go. That's
You could have
right.
played with Tim, too. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool having Matt Coughlin as
Bryce
your primary
Behringer just
kicker.
dropped bombs, just
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. We'll
Pump balls
never
out
get
stadium.
that.
Aiming it to the coffin corner punts with one of these elite punters.
What would be his rating?
99. It has to be 99.
Next question.
But he didn't win the best punter, so.
I'll get in that room and I'll strangle you right now, Owen. If you could just put the camera off of me and you just so the evidence is erased, that'd be great. If you could do that.
Yeah.
If not, then we'll just do it at the bike rack after this show here. But yeah, no, he's 99.
Okay.
Swear to God, you say
Maybe
he's
98.
Not, swear to God, you say he's
What
not
about
99 again.
so this
98.
game's not coming back, unfortunately, for mind-boggling reasons since the football version is coming back, but NCAA basketball.
That's a lot less
Oh,
kids
yeah.
to pay for
Cassius.
NIL.
Oh, yeah.
Or is it?
Well, it's 355
I
teams.
gotta do the math here. Yeah, hold
Yeah.
on.
But all right, so who's somebody that you guys
Cassius.
wish?
Cassius.
Okay, Cassius. What do you guys say? Who's somebody you wish you could have played with?
AP.
Just
Adrian Payne, like
Yeah.
someone that can splash from 3 but also swat a shot to the
That's-
12th
that's
row.
really good.
Like, yeah. That's got to be my
Brandon
guy.
Dawson, the high flyer, right? That would be Showtime. Just windmills.
Do windmill dunks out of like a half-court offense, like not even in the fast break, just set piece windmill dunks. That sounds great.
You press Y to break your hand on the door.
Yeah, no, those are all good ones.
Oh man, do you think we could get like the Mark Titus? And we are contractually obligated to bring up Mark Titus at least once a week on this show.
I told myself I was going to be the one.
There's like a career option to fake an injury on Michigan State, like his old conspiracy there's never actually an injury on Michigan State. It's just Tom Izzo saying there is to build adversity on the team, which I fully buy into now. I love it. Like there's an option that you can do that in the middle of your season. I would love that.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Just like in 2K these days, how you can go up to edit player vitals, you scroll down, you can just put an injury in there. This is Izzo in the middle of the season.
Yeah, ankle strength goes down to 5 in the month of January. Like that's all you got to slide it.
Question
down
that kind of came to mind, kind of talking about that.
Yeah.
What? One, do you believe that Tom Izzo has ever purposely thrown a game? And 2, what is the most recent game that he's done that at?
I don't think he's ever thrown a game in terms of attendance.
Or has purposely tried to lose the game as most as he could.
I hope Iowa, right? I hope they were trying to lose that game. Right?
No. They just couldn't get a rebound. I think the way that Izzo does it is he says, I'm gonna try as many different things as possible in this game. And if we lose, that doesn't matter to me as much as checking off these boxes of, okay, I tried this. This was my takeaway. Maybe we won't play this next time. So I guess if you say, in which game did he disregard the outcome in order to learn some things?
Yeah.
I don't know if any specific game comes to mind, but I would say it has to be one of those non-conference games in the beginning of the season to know what he really has before he goes into Big Ten play.
I thought for the longest time it was that first-round game in the Big Ten tournament this year against Ohio State. But, like, after seeing that clip of him talking to AJ, like, that wasn't the veins popping out of a neck of a man who does not care. There was some care behind that one. But, like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't sit in front of a television while MSU was losing the game in January and being like, oh, he doesn't care just because he can just go back and watch the film and being like, oh, you guys are too fat and sassy. Like, I do that about, twice a season perhaps. But the last time I truly meant that, I think this is the game. I had to go back to the 2009-2020 season.
Okay.
It was against Penn State at home. They lost 75-70. I know it was that season. I think it was that game. But I just remember like Izzo just like late in the game just being like this, like, you guys figure it out. I don't know. Yeah, fine. You guys don't want any coach you. You guys coach yourself. Fine. And then he gets to go back, light a fire under his team, and then just bang out greatness the rest of the season. I mean, so it's the old tried and true Tom Izzo method. I'll never forget after. Well, I'm going to go back to the game, the first round game against Ohio State.
Right.
Former student manager, good friend. Messages us. You know what the sick part of that game was? That Tom Izzo now has these guys right where they want them. And I truly believe that. And then, like, after I was like, that's BS. And then, you watch the first round game against USC. You watch them beat Marquette. It's like, okay. I'm fully bought into that now.
As Titus kind of says when he lays out his point, it's explained as everybody else in the Big Ten, they coach to win the Big Ten. They coach to win as many non-conference games against ranked teams as possible. Izzo coaches his team for March success.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean he's throwing games. What it means is the outcome of a game may not mean as much as knowing exactly what he has in March, who can be pushed into what boundaries, who can play with who in crunch time, how to shorten the lineups later. And the proper way to view it when you have tons of job security, which I know not every school has, and when you've won a ton of regular season titles, so they may not mean as much. When you have those two things, really, if you treat the regular season as the preseason and the real season as the NCAA tournament, I think that there's some benefit to that using his job security.
That's a great question. Do you believe so?
There's this game that I went in person. I think it was against Northwestern against 2 years ago.
Okay.
Where Pete Nance went nuts.
Nuclear,
for the last 10 minutes of the game. And I can't remember who was guarding him, but he refused to.
I remember who was guarding him.
Do you remember that game? And I think he ended up with like 16 points in the final 10 minutes and just went fuego. Pete Nance going nuts. And I remember sitting back and watching Izzo just sit there with their arms crossed, and he's like,
the worst posture ever.
Yeah, and he's just like, these idiots, they're going to figure it out. And if not, I don't care about losing this game. It's all for March, you know? And I think that was the first time when I was actually like, this guy is okay with losing this game because it means that somehow manufactured adversity. That's Tom Izzo.
Yeah.
That's
right
what
on.
he was doing.
Right on.
Yeah.
God, I love that.
I believe I tweeted during that game. I rarely ever tweet negative about any individual player ever. I just said a certain other big man should be playing a lot more minutes. And then the player who, at that expense, would have been playing less minutes, one of their immediate family members blocked me on Twitter.
Yikes.
Just for saying that maybe
I hope
Marcus
she's
Bingham should
doing
play
okay.
a little more minutes.
Who could it be? That's wow.
You blocked by this individual as well, I believe.
You know, I think I might be. I
Yeah.
might be.
I'll be up all night thinking of who could possibly be, man. Oh, boy. How's
Anyway.
Clarkson High School doing this year, by the way? Are they doing okay?
Say that again?
How's Clarkson High School doing this year?
I don't know.
Dakota
I
doing
don't
okay? Okay. God, you know what? Oh, okay, one more. I'm going deep into the brain right now. That Big Ten tournament game when they were up, what was it, 85 points against Maryland with 5 minutes left, and the ship was taking on so much water that you could not even see any of the players' eyes anymore, and they almost blew that game.
Yep.
I thought that was a game that was being thrown too. I'm like, I get life lessons, Tom. I get it. Not in March though.
Can't do it now.
Maybe now's not the time. I don't know. These seem to be games you want to win here. So that was another time. But against their best efforts, they still won that game. They tried their best. They tried their best.
Yeah.
I just got a quick one to end the show.
Yeah.
It's fill in the blank. It's easy.
Sounds
Fill in the
good.
blank. Two options here. You want to talk
Jamaica.
about Shemi Schembechler, or do you want to talk about Shemi Schembechler?
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, the new
It's supposed to roll like that.
assistant GA recruiting guy over in Michigan. Or do you want to talk about NBA Finals? What do you want to talk about here?
If I choose the second one, can we promise that Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum's team will not be involved?
The NBA Finals, Justin, will be played by blank and
What
blank.
happened?
Heat culture is real. It's a real thing.
Okay.
They lose when they're... Actually, I don't know. I
Doubted.
shouldn't say that. They win when they're not supposed to, is
Yeah,
what I should say.
they win when they're doubted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, ever since the Sixers chose Ben Simmons over him,
Good choice.
yeah. I believe he has made 3 straight conference finals.
Good.
I believe the Sixers have not made any conference finals. So, I do not doubt Jimmy Butler playing against a team that employs Al Horford for multiple minutes per game.
Wow.
I do not believe.
Strong thoughts.
Yeah.
Strong thoughts.
And Jason Tatum had a great Game 7. He had a great fourth quarter in Game 6. But up until then, he was actively point shaving. And if he does that again in the Eastern Conference Finals, he's not going to be able to get away with it. Because Jimmy Butler, and if Tyler Hero's back, packing him up, they're sending him back to Boston. And it would be... See, the West is tough.
I think the winner comes out of the West regardless.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree.
I think the Lakers are super hot right now. Anthony Davis has to go nuts for them to make it a 6 or 7 game series.
Yeah.
I think Denver makes it to their first finals in
Is it
ever?
Is it ever?
Maybe.
It might be ever. I
Ever?
truly have no idea. I have no
Ever?
memory of the Nuggets.
They had some
and-
teams in the 70s, but that's it.
Those don't count. 70s don't count.
I think it's their first finals ever. I think they make it. Yeah.
I can see it.
My thing is I can't root for Kyle Lowry to win anything.
Just
That's
out
true.
of
That's,
principle.
I
Yeah,
agree.
okay.
I agree.
Just out of the way the guy plays the game.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now Marcus Smart kind of gets into that kind of riffraff kind of game.
But Kyle's
which I
got a
don't-
big butt, though.
Yeah.
Squat rack legend.
Absolutely.
Kyle Lowry. Yeah.
750 for reps.
Yeah.
Minimal. Yeah.
The thing with Marcus Smart, it's like he's this like fake tough guy thing, and then
Yeah,
he
see, I
flops
like
left
Marcus
and right.
Smart, yeah.
Like you got to commit to just the tough guy thing and not flop. Like I don't know, just can't respect him.
I can confirm Denver has not been. So,
Never been.
never
Okay.
been.
There we go.
Okay.
Encyclopedia Peach over there. One time
Yeah.
for there we go. If you say it with enough confidence, everyone's going to believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's never been in the finals? The Boston Celtics. That's right. Little known fact.
Yeah.
If you say
Or
it with enough
Bob
confidence.
Huggins, right?
Yeah.
Bob Huggins.
Bob
Yeah.
Huggins
Yeah, bring him up.
might be on the market soon to coach. Maybe he's your next Sixers coach.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
The fan base will
Who are
embrace
the
it.
other
Yeah.
names?
They're
usually bring up?
Uncancelable Bob Huggins.
They're gonna bypass Jay Wright,
Yeah. blow
who's
right by him.
actually unemployed right now, actually working for CBS.
Will they hire him?
No, they won't. I wish they would, especially now that Kelvin Sampson of the Houston Cougars is interviewing for the Bucks.
Bye-bye.
Which would be great for everybody involved. Milwaukee would be getting a good coach from Houston there. And Houston gets to have Kelvin Sampson, Kelvin's son, who's been their associate head coach for a while, take over.
Yep.
He gets to hit the ground running while the program's up high. Kelvin gets to take the next step. But, I'm like, if the Bucks are going to hire Kelvin Sampson, the Sixers should give Jay Wright a call. Because especially if Harden's gone and he goes back to Houston, where he has a better selection of clubs to hit in between playoff games, I believe ego management's not going to be as much of a thing, and I'd go with Jay Wright. Cool. GQJ.
Do we know if this rumor's true that James Harden has his number retired in the rafters of one of the clubs he used to frequent in Houston? Because I read that once. And I just instantly believed it. Like, just at face value, I believed it.
If you go and you order the garlic parmesan wings at Magic City, right next to the menu, it's Harden 13.
Good. Okay.
So
they got like a little beard icon for everything.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
That's nice. That's good.
Yeah, the chef special, instead of with a C, it's just a beard silhouette.
Back in East Lansing, this is for everyone here. Your number is in the rafters of an establishment. Is yours just Pinball Pete's? Is it that easy?
Well, I had to pick.
Yeah. You get to pick where
I've been to Harper's a lot.
I was gonna say mine might be Harp Daddy's. Yeah.
But Harper's now a freshman bar, so I don't know how much I would want.
Oh, just snitching on national TV of who doesn't ID.
Please sponsor the show.
Sorry,
Please sponsor us.
That was freshmen that are 21. My bad.
Yeah, that's true. The ones that got held back 3 times in kindergarten.
It just all of that.
Yeah.
We'll clip this up. We'll send it to Fieldhouse. We'll say we're trying to take down your rival, and let's get some sponsorship going here.
Fieldhouse is.
We'll get 8 bars to sponsor us. It'll be great.
Yeah,
it's genius.
Yeah.
I met a high school senior at Fieldhouse.
I'm going to say Alpha Chi Omega sorority. It's up there. They know me.
A single peach dangles from the rafters at the sorority. There we go. I love that. Mine is the Domino's on Harrison, by the way. That's right above where they have the extra seasoning for their crust. I'm right up there.
If we can include eateries,
sure, anywhere. Establishments.
Barrio. It'd be Barrio.
So the issue is Barrio opened late. Barrio opened when it was my final 3 months on campus.
That's right.
Because it was after we returned from the pandemic.
Sure.
So it was going to be Eastside for the first 2 years, but it would be embarrassing to take credit for going to Eastside a lot. Or sorry, not Eastside, Wings Over. But Wings Over closed during the pandemic, so obviously I didn't do a good job of keeping them in business. Eastside is what it has to be. Yeah. I took graduation pictures outside of Eastside. That's what it has to be.
Cane's is slowly working its way up for me now. I like to stop in at Cane's. If you get there before midnight, there's no line.
There's an issue with Cane's. There's
Raising Cane's, the chicken shop?
There's a huge issue with Raising Cane's.
Now, have you been?
No, I haven't been there yet. There's a Cane's now?
Yeah, it's in downtown East Lansing. Yeah,
it opened over the winter.
There's one huge issue with Cane's.
What?
They do not serve ranch. And
dude, but
Cane's
sauce is
Cane's sauce is just basically liquid sugar. So here's what I learned 2 times ago when I went to Cane's. We were going to Pittsburgh, and I knew there was a Cane's in Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
Stopped there. They didn't serve ranch. I was traumatized. Ate it, whatever. Just fast forward another year. We're going to State College to the Whiteout game, and I learned that we're going to be stopping at Cane's all the way there. I packed ranch from home, drove 3.5 hours to Cleveland, utilized my ranch that I brought from home with the Cane's chicken tenders, and kept going.
No, that's called preparation. That's preparation.
That's just earning
That's called wisdom. Oh, and
you could just
learn something about
another like fast food restaurant and grab ranch from inside, like with those packets or something.
It doesn't taste the same.
Am I gonna go to their counter and say I'm not looking for any food?
No,
but can I please have ranch
go to
cups?
the condiment thing. You can go in. You don't have to go to
ranch
the counter.
Tastes better when it's traveled for 3 hours. That's
Who has just ranch sitting outside in front of the counter? They might have ketchup.
No, but like where you can get the drinks and stuff, forks, napkins, it's all right there. I'm talking,
Owen, go out right now and bring us back some ranch. Right, and let's see how long it takes.
Dude, we're in Birmingham, man.
They don't do ranch up here.
They don't have fast food in Birmingham.
We don't do ranch in Birmingham. How dare you?
This is very
you mean plebeian sauce? No, we don't. Not in Birmingham. Yeah, no, you would be pretty hard pressed.
That's facts,
it'd be a tough task here.
Yeah, it would be.
You wouldn't be able to find regular ranch in Birmingham. It'd be like spicy jalapeno seasoned.
And it cost you like a foot and a leg or something like that. Like it's
which reminds me of my ongoing war with Birmingham parking, but that's a story for another day.
I have that with MSU parking, so
that's true. That's true.
But how much are your tickets for?
Yeah, let's do a ticket.
I don't know. I'll let you know once I look at them.
More or less than Tyson Walker's when he was away in Columbus.
Don't they go up if you don't pay them? Like, or is that just MSU parking?
As I said, I have not opened the envelopes that they have been given to me.
Plausible deniability. I like that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Can't pay it if I never see it.
Exactly right.
That's what I do with every credit card bill I've ever gotten. So yeah, it's perfect.
I can't read.
Yeah.
But what if you,
lease payments? No, thanks. Not this one.
It's like that Dora the Explorer meme. This sign can't stop me because I can't read.
I can't read.
Yeah, me with Birmingham parking.
What if you got a ticket but it like blew away or something like that? And
that's what I always wanted to know.
Happens all the time.
What happens?
Yeah, what is the deal with that? What happens there?
Because obviously you have no idea, and then eventually they'll contact you and be like, hey, you know, whatever, you gotta pay this. And you're like, what?
We need to get to the bottom of that.
Conspiracies, right?
Yeah. I tried to put an old parking ticket.
As many people have,
when I got out of the car, I put an old one there, and I went in and was eating, and we came back, and they just put the new one on top of the other one.
Damn,
they
doubled you up.
Yeah, you thought you were
They're
slick.
good.
That's relentless right there.
These guys are good. Yeah,
kept chopping.
They're chopping.
Keep chopping.
They're chopping over there.
Yeah, that works in Rochester Hills. Doesn't work out here. Not in these
doesn't
streets.
work at MSU either. I've tried it. Yeah, unfortunately.
Shoot.
But I've gotten more tickets outside of my own house than I have because of
Seems
street
like a you
parking.
problem now. Yeah. This seems
Outside of your own
Sorry,
house.
man.
Not to throw you under the bus. It seems like an
in the
own problem
driveway.
at this point.
Good luck.
But our driveway wasn't really meant for 4 cars, including a truck. So
Who's got the truck?
Jack, who was on the show.
Jack.
Yeah.
What you got to do is you have to argue the ticket. You have to show up in court. You have to wear a suit. You have to pay.
But that's a lot of work, though.
But my plan right before the pandemic started was I was going to park in the 1855 parking lot of the apartments that I paid rent of $750 for.
Yeah.
Because University Village and 1855, they basically share the same parking lot. And it's just separated by a row of trees. So I'm thinking, if I can park here, I'm going to park over there. So I parked there adamantly. The first hour of parking there, I got a ticket. So I told myself, this is not going to stand. I'm going to go argue this. And then the next day, the pandemic started, and they're like, well, we won't be doing any hearings. So then I humbly had to pay that.
Brutal.
That's
brutal.
They played it like a fiddle. Unfortunately, I hate to say it.
I was ironing my suit. I was going to walk in there. I was going to claim that I have a law degree.
I have a conspiracy theory.
It would have melted.
It's not even a conspiracy theory. Do the parking people target specific cars? Because I feel like I've been targeted before, specifically at my car.
What kind of car do you drive?
Get a discrimination suit
Just
going
a
here.
2007 Ford Fusion, so it's like
That's a hot car on the street.
Yeah.
How's your catalytic converter?
it's great.
It's still intact. Won't be after tonight. So yeah, perfect. There we go. Got my eyes after that car. Excellent. We should have ELPD on the show next week.
We could probably get
you want
somebody from
ratings?
there.
Do we
That'd be
get
electric.
parking on the show?
That would be
Let's
electric.
find
No
somebody in parking
way,
anywhere.
dude.
It doesn't even have to be.
I would be
find
honestly
someone in Little Rock,
groundbreaking.
Arkansas that does parking tickets, and let's ask them, do you get commission?
Can we get MSU parking?
commission off
No,
of
I
tickets?
need MSU parking.
And then you know how many people would tune in to listen to that are students?
Yeah.
And want the
Yeah.
like answers?
Yeah.
Like, you would
Yeah.
have everyone because everyone would be like, including me, would want to know like what the heck is up, how do I avoid you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or mine would just be like 2-part question. One, you're the
How
worst.
dare
2, go
you.
F yourself.
Yeah.
Like that'd be how I kick off the interview.
We all just like flip them off, you know.
So
Yeah.
we'll go on LinkedIn. We'll do a Control F, and we'll do like MSU parking,
that.
like after we go under the
do
MSU
that.
employees thing, and we'll get somebody on next week.
I'll never forget. I had a park outside the football stadium one time, and like they were doing picture day as well for the football team, and I was there for like 30 minutes max. I just had to quickly park and go.
You were on the team. You're getting
And
a
you
picture
suited up.
taken.
You suited up. I know where this is going.
I had to go do something on the field, but it was. I came back and they got everybody. They got everybody on the team, and like.
did a sweep.
I'm not gonna name names, but a couple guys came out and they're like, "Dude, they got me again, dude. This is ridiculous."
Can't
like,
have this.
And then they went up. They were like, they were complaining, the parking people. They're like, dude, we're supposed to park here. Where else am I supposed to park? We have to take pictures and everything like that.
That's why Keon left.
They're just like, it's my job.
That's it.
It's right there. Just one too many parking tickets on his Challenger, man. That's way to go.
Probably, man.
Mike Norvell promised that none of that would be going on there, and that clinched the deal.
You know what? That's the bet I'm going to take into the fall. Anytime MSU loses, I'm just going to scream at MSU parking.
They ran Keon away.
Yeah, way to go, guys. Thanks. Nice going. Yeah, our kicker missed a field goal because he was too worried about the parking fines that you left him with outside the stadium.
Yeah.
Way to go. All right, good.
I think that does it.
Yeah, that was a smooth landing.
Honestly, this is my last thing about it.
Here we go.
What if instead of
That's a horrible idea.
No. Whenever you get a ticket, you have to put it into an NIL collective instead of paying for it. And the amount of
he solved
tickets.
He just solved NIL.
The funds, dude.
No, this is perfect.
That's some gold.
Tweet this out. Get Chief in on this. But then they must start targeting.
Xavier Worthy is your starting receiver this fall for your Michigan State Spartans.
I'm going to call Ish. Now I'm going to say, forget all the other efforts. Let's start a parking enforcement agency.
Wow.
Let's start putting people on notice.
Yep.
$15, and you just redirect that into
I would feel good
Arch
about
Manning
my
transfer
money,
fund.
I like that.
I can't believe Arch Manning is going to be our quarterback in 2024 because of Owen's idea.
Dude, we
That's
would have
unbelievable.
Texas A&M don't even.
Oh, those broke people over there, please, absolutely, wow.
It's like they're like, yep, that's who's paying your bills right there.
Just solved it.
Ish and Saint are getting a call at midnight today saying, get some purple neon, or let's get some neon vests and some clipboards.
Yeah.
Let's
Make it happen.
Let's get this going. I need some content to write about.
Who's gonna run that? Are you gonna be out there doing that?
Absolutely.
Can you imagine you're like beating
Hide
MSU
vest.
parking just around just to give tickets? You're just
If
you're
I knew that
racing
it would
up
go
the
straight
parking lot,
to
the
players'
parking lot.
pockets, everyone's getting mowed down, man. I don't care if there's 10 minutes left in that meter. Yeah, you're getting popped.
All the 07 fusions.
Yeah,
It's
let's
over.
go.
It's a
Damn,
wrap.
dude.
Feast out here. Yeah, there we go. Wow.
All right.
What better way to end the show than Owen himself solving the NIL situation?
Love to see it.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Welcome to East Lansing. Quinn Ewers. With that does it for this week's episode of the SD4L show. Appreciate Peach joining us here.
Always.
Appreciate Owen in studio producing this one. Matt Sheehan, as always.
Oh, and
Love you guys.
quickly, it's big series for MSU baseball. Almost forgot, but
Okay.
we got tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, all on Big Ten Network. They have to win pretty much 2 of 3. They're currently tied for 8th after being 2nd, but that's nonetheless, don't worry about that.
Didn't have to say that.
But now they're tied for 8th. All they have to do is the same or better than Purdue, who plays Nebraska. Michigan State plays number 1 Indiana in the conference. So
They're due to lose.
Let them get hot.
whatever you
That's right.
may think might happen, we'll see. But if Purdue gets swept and Michigan State gets swept, they get in. So
Go Huskers.
yeah,
Go Huskers, go Spartans.
Absolutely.
It's like the last day of the Big Ten regular season for basketball. You know, Go Huskers. So there we go.
Yeah, it's been a fun day of Big Ten basketball news today. And thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the SD4L show. Peach, Owen, Matt, and Justin Thin here. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Please close your eyes.